So I decided I wanted to make some rocky walls, both for using in Fallout Wasteland Warfare and for my Brine and Brass Deep Sea little RPG skirmish game that I'm creating. So I'm going to be using this blue foam. To make the main shape, I'm going to use this hot wire cutter, so a bit of safety first, remembering using a well ventilated room and wear a face mask because those fumes can be incredibly nasty. So yeah, I'm just going to cut along the top. I do that for all three pieces, so I'm going to end up with a roughly 3 foot long wall, and once that's finished I'm going to take this different shape and I'm just going to press that into the front in various places. I'm going to score out a few little dents just to add a bit of depth to the actual front of it. So yeah, as you can see, there's a lot of fumes coming off there and they're not really good for you. So yeah, very well ventilated room, and remember to wear a mask. So I repeat the process for all three pieces. There's a couple of the scores that actually go across joins, as you can see here. So I tried to keep the pattern going consistently over all three pieces. Next stage, score the front of it. Sorry about the camera wobble, my camera's attached to the table so it can get quite shaky when I'm actually doing anything like this. As you'll see with this and the next stage as well. So once that's finished, I'm going to take a small wire brush and just go over the top of everything. It just scores up the surface, gives it a much better kind of rocky texture to the whole thing. So as you can see, really nice rocky texture to it. It does create a lot of rubbish, so make sure you clean that up well as you go along. So once that's finished, that's my three pieces there. I'm actually going to take a lighter next and I'm going to just run it across the top to kind of seal it down, get rid of any loose bits on top, and it just kind of it melts it slightly and it gives you a much better texture, as you can see here. And the next stage is sealing it all in. So to seal the surface, I'm going to use two ingredients, Mod Podge, which I'm just going to pour in. Once I'm happy with how much I've got, I'm going to add in some just plain black acrylic paint. And I do realise at this point, my paint's nearly ran out. I do have enough for it, so managed to get the sealing done at least. So give that a really good mix through. I also realised at this point I don't have any large scrap brushes, so I'm just going to actually pour it on. Got loads of sponges, so I'm just going to sponge it in place. So I'm going to do that over all three boards. And you end up with something like this. And then it's just a waiting game. So once they're dry, it looks like this. It looks like there's a lot of it isn't coated, but trust me, everything is coated. It's just the colour seeped into a lot of the darker grooves. So to give that a base coat, again, really cheap acrylic paint, some black, some white, mix it together, so I've got a nice grey base coat. I'm not actually being too thorough at this point because it is the base coat and I'm just going to slap it on there. So again, cover all 3 boards, wait for that to dry, and you end up with something like this. Then I'm going to do a quick dry brush with a lighter grey, just to bring out some of the detail. And then on to the next stage, something I haven't tried before for rock. I'm going to use 6 different speed paints. I'm just going to splot them on and then I'm going to sponge them down. So there's a variety of greens, reds, browns I'm actually going to be using. And it's just to give it quite a nice colour variation. It looks quite bright just now, but trust me, once you've finished it, it does blend down quite nicely. So yeah, just squeeze them all over the board, sponge it all down. Didn't bother cleaning my sponge in between, so there's a bit of blend between some of the colours as well. And that's what I end up with. So that's my 3 boards. I'm going to do a couple of dry brushes over the top with the 3 different browns, getting slightly lighter with each one. The last one is just picking out some of the final details in it, so I'm not going over absolutely everything. And these are the boards once I've got to that stage. And the final stage, I'm going to make up a really cheap wash. So again, black acrylic paint, a little bit of washing up liquid just for a flow improver. Top that up with water. It will get a little bit frothy, but the bubbles do disappear once it's dried. Give that a mix together. And then when you're happy with that, just slap it on the board. So this is the first board, completely done. I just leave that to dry and then move on to the next ones, and this is it when it's actually dried. So you could quite easily just do the few grey coats at the start and leave it at that, but I decided to add a bit more. So to stick them together, I'm actually going to use magnets. So I just make a couple of indentations in the side, some hot glue, and then just press a magnet in place. Then I'm actually going to do 2 for each side, one at the bottom, one at the top, and they stick together quite nicely. The magnets are strong enough that they will hold together. I'm probably going to end up weighing them down with some screws, just screwed into the bottom, so they won't fall over during play or anything, but that's essentially it done. So let's have a look. Some of my small 1-foot boards that I made before have actually begun to curl quite nastily, so I think that's going to be my next project, making a little either 2x2 board or in a modular 1-foot square one. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.